I'm now going to invite the person who has been the inspiration behind the Sustainable Oceans Alliance, who really has something called TerraMar Project. She controls the oceans around the world. If you were to look at the website, you have the opportunity to buy up parts of the ocean through her. And really, the Sustainable Oceans Alliance came together at the insistence of one person who is in the room. I don't know, I have to look for him. His name is Stephen Haft. Where is Stephen? Oh, Stephen, please get up. Stephen has been a passionate person behind the Oceans Alliance, saying we need to do something, and he got us together, Ambassador Beck and I, and with Ghislaine Maxwell, and we set up the Oceans Alliance, and we are very grateful to Stephen for his support. And therefore, I invite my dear friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, to tell us how we can own the oceans. You have 3 seconds. Thank you. Please.
I'll do my best. First of all, Your Excellencies, Presidents, Lords, ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to thank you so much, and it's such an honor to be here. I'm here representing civil society. My passion for the ocean, for those of you, there's a slideshow going up there, so you don't just have to hear me, you can see the pictures as well. Started when I was a little girl. I grew up watching Jacques Cousteau on TV and became mesmerized with the oceans. It led to me becoming a deep worker submersible pilot. And ultimately, on one of my first dives, when I went down expecting to see a fish, I switched on the lights at the bottom of the ocean and saw a plastic hanger. It was in that moment, actually, that I decided that I really wanted to focus my attention on the ocean. And the area of the ocean that I chose to focus on was the high seas, which we've discussed so much here today. But for those of you who don't know, it represents 45% of our planet. And by the way, that 45% of the planet belongs to each and every one of you here, because it is our global commons. Under UNCLOS, it is ours. It belongs to each and every one of us, and the assets belong to us too. And I didn't know that when I started the history. The history of this started in 533 AD under Emperor Justinius, whips through the Magna Carta. Of course, I have to give a nod to England, and then ends up in 1982 at the Law of the Sea Convention. This area, our commons, are under peril for many reasons. One of the areas that of interest that I'm sure many of you are aware of is the shrinking ice of the Arctic. This is an Arctic map, and you can see the little white bits, which are the high seas areas that will remain. The ice is melting, the Northern Passage is opening. This will just be one of the areas that need to be discussed and focused on in the time to come. What's the point of why should we really care about the ocean? So 90 million tons of fish caught a year, and about a third of the fish harvested are used to feed livestock. What that means is we're feeding that to our chickens so that they can taste more like fish. Unsustainable fishing practices, this is just an example of that, we're so clever as a species that we have advances in extractive technologies. This is a sort of map, or picture, if you will, of one of the largest fishing nets in the world that can contain 12 Boeing 747s, which is pretty big. The World Bank quotes, poor ocean management leads to approximately $50 billion in lost revenue annually. This is the actual tuna that was sold last year for $1.7 million. And I want to come to Palau, actually. As Karen said, 100 million sharks are taken out of the ocean, have their fins cut off, and for fin soup, thrown back alive into the ocean to die. And Palau, very brilliantly, closed their waters to shark finning and ultimately shark finning soup, and turned what was worth about $200 per fin into something worth $1.9 million over their lifetime, as the president said so rightly, through tourism. I raise this again because it's absolutely vital that the combination between the use of our oceans, not only for the various reasons that both David Miliband said and Karen and others, for the oxygen and the food. But also there has to be a link between industry and the people and the use of our planet, so that all these things combine together to make a sustainable ocean, because without money at the bottom and without it's not going to work. So I started the TerraMar Project, and the point of the TerraMar Project is to connect each and every one of us to our global oceans, to the high seas, because it does belong to you. We give you a passport, a daily online newspaper, an education platform, a government structure, and a way to connect to your oceans as you never have been able to before. Fish do not vote, but we do. And if we do, and we tell our politicians that we want the oceans to become sustainable, then the goal is to have every politician end up with a policy framework and a decision on how they treat the oceans, and hopefully that will be sustainable, because that is what we, the people, want. A sustainable development goal at the UN is, I think, a fantastic thing. The United Nations is absolutely the right place to lead this. They are the only place that has this global reach. All the people can come together to create this goal that will then be the planetary mandate for the next 15 years of how we treat our oceans. So I really want the people, each and every one of us, 7 billion of us on the planet, to come together, to sign up, to get your passport, to make your voice heard, so that the UN and each ambassador can hear what's what we want, and all politicians know that no sustainable ocean means we won't vote them back into power. If we won't vote them back into the power, then they're out. We'll find someone who will, to support the oceans. Thank you.
Thank you. Ghislaine, thank you. So if we want to become part of your ocean community, we just go to TerraMar Project?
The TerraMarProject.org. I invite you all to come. I invite you all to sign. It's a pledge. There's no taxes, by the way. It's all free. And all you're signing is you love the ocean, that you will spread your love of the ocean because we're a digital platform, and that you want the ocean to be sustainably managed. And that is the message that we, the people, the owners of the ocean, the owners of our planet, one species, one home, one common destiny. That's the message we're bringing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.